Okay, well, morning everybody, and quick update on the conservation community. We had a few problems last week trying to go live from a remote location with our data connection, so we couldn't give the update that we wanted, but not to worry, we're back again today with a strong connection, and I can go through a few updates, really, a little bit about the background of what we've been doing, and also introduce the platform that the team has been working on so hard. As you know, the conservation community has been set up by the Patt Foundation, which is a registered UK charity. And my name, as many of you know, is Andrew Steel. I set up the Patt Foundation about 10 years ago, really to focus on reforestation and to tackle the massive levels of deforestation that we were seeing throughout Asia. One of the things that I saw was that there's a lot of effort and focus on stopping the trees being cut down, but not so much effort on putting the trees back. So we set out to put the trees back, and one of the things we did and what we've achieved so far is to plant nearly 1 million trees in Asia over the last decade. Now, we want to hit 1 million trees, of course, but we want to also reach out and assist other organizations with their efforts to handle reforestation in different parts of the globe. So it's not always about Patt, and hence we started to work on the conservation community platform, fundraising platform, to make sure we can use the skill sets that we've got to assist other people in their project efforts. What you can see with our new direction is that we're reaching out to a lot of areas, and I think we can have a far better effect utilizing the technology we've got available and the team that we're building at the conservation community to reach out to people around the world and use social media and other account-based marketing servers to solicit donations to the projects, and using artificial intelligence. We've got eco servers that can do amazing things, and one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of project developers, their focus should be on the work on the ground and not necessarily worrying about where the funding is coming from. And that's where the conservation community plays a huge role in allowing those project developers to work, hands-on and not worry. As I know, having run Patt for over a decade now, that you're significantly worrying about where the next level of funding is coming from. And that's a challenge. It's a challenge for all of us. And that was one of the reasons we've put together the conservation community platform. Now, the concept is relatively simple and the process is easy. And I'm happy to say that the website is now live. So we will be posting the links for the website and looking for people to donate to the projects we're initially working with. And it's a very simple platform, and options are there for people to create a fundraiser, and our team will be in touch with you to discuss the parameters and whether we can work effectively to bring your project to life or to support that project. And it also gives people the opportunity, quite simply, to explore other causes, see which elements are close to their own hearts, whether it's marine biology or supporting orangutans, you name it. We will have a raft of different causes that you can explore and find one that you can support. Or you can find a specific project that you're interested in and aim to focus on that and support those guys in their entirety. Now, the concept we've got is really simple, and we've got a KISS principle. Our main aim is to provide financial assistance, and we can only do that with the assistance of the community at large, and that's why we're reaching out to you. But we want to educate and update the public on the conservation projects that we're working on. And in essence, we're attempting to create a green Facebook and connect like-minded people on a single platform, so that everybody who has a conservation heart is in one place at one time, focusing on one particular element. And as we grow this project, what we want to do is allow people to engage directly with the projects. That's not just engage directly on social media, but get involved with the projects as well. It's so important that people use social media to like and share the projects that we're working on and the information that we put out, because that's free marketing for us. And it doesn't cost anything for anybody to do that. It's quite simply a few seconds of your time to spread the message of the good work that, not that we are doing, but mainly about the work that the people on the ground are doing. And that's our main aim. As I said, there's simple concepts. There's 5 concepts on the screen. And our last one really is to support those project developers. I know project developers because I know personally how difficult it is to go out and do the job, but then have to keep an eye in the rearview mirror to make sure the funding is there, to ensure the communities that you're working with or the equipment you need is funded. And there's funds in place to make sure that you can accomplish your goals. As we know, without money, we can only rely on charity for so long, but those projects need to have funding to make them come to life and to keep them doing the good work that they are doing. Now, if you go to the link on the website, you'll find that it's a very simple website, simple to navigate. We'll be tweaking it as we go. And what we wanted to do was make it so simple for you to get around and find out a project that you want to support, and also see how those projects are doing. The intention is that we will feature live updates from the projects themselves, interviews with the project developers so you can see what is going on, and also update pictures, videos, some text as well, of the new developments on those projects as they are moving forward, so that you can see how the funding is benefiting those projects on the ground. Now, our initial focus, we've spoken over the last few weeks on the projects that we're featuring to start with, and the Hornbill project will be run through Wildlife One in Chiang Mai, and that's the reintroduction of the hornbill species into that region. We'll also be touching base with Dr. Ian Singleton on the Haven project. We had a couple of issues with passport validity, so we couldn't get out there last week, but there's a plan to visit the Haven project and the Sumatran Orangutan Conservation Project guys not next week, the week after, hopefully March the 19th. And then the Karen Conservation Wildlife Initiative are educating and training forest rangers on illegal wildlife poaching and also tree poaching in Myanmar. So our focus is to also generate funds to get these guys trained, and also to get them the equipment that they need to effectively do their job. Because these guys are spending sometimes 10 to 14 days out in the field, and as I know, being an ex-military man, you need the right equipment. So the more comfortable they are in their work, the better job they're going to be able to do. And the more we bring in external training parties to teach them some of the arts of, let's be honest, military combat, the better equipped they are going to be to handle the task at hand. And in the future, what we hope to do is get to a position where we've got ex-military guys actually leading those patrols as well, and hands-on experience will be beneficial. So we've got when you click through the website, you'll see the Hornbill project, you'll see the Forest Rangers project, and you'll also see the Sumatran Orangutan project. So basically what we're asking you to do at this stage is go online, support the projects, and literally get involved and see how and where you can support one of those projects. So main aim really of this live broadcast today was just a quick overview and to talk to you about the 3 projects that we are focusing on. As I said, the reintroduction of hornbills into the northern part of Thailand, support the orangutan haven in Sumatra in Indonesia, And that's essentially building a safe haven for the orangutans that can't go back into the wild. There's a pretty sad story of one of the orangutans that Ian Singleton has rescued, was found with 70 pellet wounds and 70 pellets in his body. And unfortunately, he's blinded, so can't go back into the wild. So needs a safe haven where he can live out the rest of his life in safety. And against the people who are unfortunately treating orangutans in palm oil plantations as pests and are shooting them, killing them for the sake of literally a few dollars, which is such a shame, especially when the numbers are limited and the habitat they've got is limited. And I'll just quickly mention again the Forest Ranger project. One of the things that I've mentioned in the past, I think, is this war on the wildlife trade. We're seeing a lot of the wildlife numbers depleting across the globe, and it has to stop. And it's a long-term focus really to educate the communities and get them involved in protecting the wildlife that is around them. But unfortunately, when they're given money to go and trap animals, be it rhinos or elephants, because there's a trade that's driving this, the project and the issue is far more reaching and far more depth than we can ever consider. So whilst we have to stop the trade, not just from the source where the animals are being captured, we have to stop the people buying the products, and there's so many elements to it. So what we found at Conservation Community is the first step is, look, let's stop the poachers, stop them in their tracks, make it difficult for them to actually get these products out and hunting these animals. We're intending to work with a number of entities on artificial intelligence and trying to track where poachers have been. And there's new technology available that we hope to deploy. So that's where we intend to sit in the whole, I would call it the value chain. It's not necessarily a value chain from a business perspective, but to stop the poachers taking the animals and the products from the wild and using military techniques to effectively to put an end to the poaching, and then work with other people to stop the wildlife trade in its entirety. That's a long-term goal, but I'll use an old adage from a tree planting element. A great oak tree grows from a small acorn. So let's plant the acorn with Conservation Community, and let's build the community and support the people out there that are doing amazing work in the conservation sector. So short and sweet today, guys. I thank you for your time. Thanks for listening. And if you want, you can find me on Twitter, or you can email me directly if there are any projects that you want us to look at or any questions you've got about the Conservation Community. And I look forward to hearing your comments, and please like and share our projects. And also, if you got the time, please donate the cost of a Starbucks coffee. Every little helps and will go to supporting the great causes that we're working on. So from me, over and out from Bangkok, and I look forward to speaking to you next week with some more updates and hopefully some funding in the bank. Okay, goodbye.